Hello friends, welcome back to our channel Free Studies. Today's topic is life processes, which is the first chapter of biology class 10th. In this video, we will be only covering the nutrition part of this chapter, as this chapter is very lengthy according to the students, so we have divided the chapter in the parts. In this video, we will be doing nutrition, so let's get started. Before starting, I would like to ask that what do you understand by life process? The life processes are the biochemical reactions that happen inside the body of the living organisms like plants and animals, which help in the survival, growth and maintenance of the body. There are 4 types of life processes that we will be learning in the class 10, and those are nutrition, respiration, transportation and excretion. These you have to write in the example section of the definition of life processes. When the food is acquired, it gets oxidized and energy is released inside the cell. This is how organisms obtain energy. So if the question comes that how do organisms obtain energy, so first you have to write the definition of the life processes, then you have to write this statement that when the food is acquired, it gets oxidized and energy is released inside the cell. The next question comes is why there is the need for transportation of materials within the body of the organisms. So the answer for this question is there is the need for the transportation of the materials within the body of the organism because our bodies are complexly designed. We know that we are the multicellular organisms and our bodies are complexly designed, and not every body cell is in direct contact with the environment, and also the site of exchange of gases is limited. So these materials have to be transported through the use of some specialized cell. What are these specialized cells? This we will be learning in the higher classes. Now let's come to our first topic, which is nutrition. What do you understand by nutrition? Nutrition is defined as the process of intake of nutrients and its utilization by an organism in different biological activities. For example, fats, carbohydrates, proteins, minerals and vitamins. There are 2 modes of nutrition. In nutrition we have 2 branches. The first branch is known as autotrophic nutrition and the second is known as heterotrophic nutrition. The autotrophic nutrition means the self-nourishment and the heterotrophic nutrition means the other nourishment. This we will be understanding in the difference between the autotrophic nutrition and heterotrophic nutrition, that what does self-nourishment and other nourishment means. So let's read the difference between the autotrophic and heterotrophic nutrition. Autotrophic nutrition, it is a kind of nutrition in which inorganic materials like CO2, water, etc. are utilized to prepare the food by an organism, whereas in heterotrophic nutrition, it is a kind of nutrition in which organisms are dependent on the autotrophs for their food supply directly or indirectly. Autotrophs are able to prepare their food on their own, so that is why we call them self-nourishment, and heterotrophs are dependent on the autotrophs for their food, that is why we named them with the other nourishment. The examples of autotrophic nutrition are green plants, blue-green algae, photosynthetic. The example of heterotrophic nutrition are animals, fungi and all the multicellular organisms. Now we will be studying that how photosynthesis takes place in plants. The process by which autotrophs manufacture their own food by taking in CO2 and H2O. Here CO2 means carbon dioxide and H2O means water. I hope you all know. With the help of solar energy means sun, the energy coming from the sun. Inside the chlorophyll containing cell. We all know that in plants the chlorophyll is present in the plant leaves. Oxygen is released in photosynthesis. The chemical equation of photosynthesis is 6CO2 plus 12H2O. Now above the arrow you have to write solar energy and below the arrow you have to write chlorophyll. After the arrow you have to write C6H12O6, which means glucose, plus 6H2O plus 6O2. When the examiner asks that what do you understand by photosynthesis, so first you have to write the definition which is displaying on the screen and then the chemical equation of the photosynthesis. Now the important question is that what are the conditions necessary for photosynthesis? There are 4 conditions which are necessary for photosynthesis, and they are water, carbon dioxide, chlorophyll and sunlight. You can also learn these 4 conditions by viewing the chemical equation of photosynthesis. All the elements which are before the arrow and above the arrow and below the arrow are the conditions which are necessary for the photosynthesis. You can also check that. Now there there comes three activity to prove that sunlight, chlorophyll and carbon dioxide are essential for the process of photosynthesis. First, we will prove that sunlight is essential for photosynthesis. For proving this, there comes an experiment. First step of the experiment includes the discharging of the leaf. How we will be discharging our leaf? The plant is kept in dark for 3 days so that all the starch get used up. You have to put the plant in a dark room where no sunlight is there. Then it comes intervention. In the intervention, a portion of leaf is covered with the black paper strip tightly, and after that, plant is kept in sunlight for 6 to 8 hours. After these 6 to 8 hours, you have to decolorize the leaf. How will you decolorize the leaf? Remove the black strip from the leaf. It is heated in alcohol using the water bath. The leaf gets decolorized. We all know that alcohol is a very highly reactive agent. That is why we cannot just put the leaf directly into alcohol, and so we use water bath for decolorizing our leaf. Now it comes starch test. Place the decolorized leaf on the slide and put some iodine solution on it. After putting the iodine solution, you will observe that the part which is covered with the black paper does not turn blue-black, whereas the part of the leaf which is not covered will turn blue-black. Now comes the activity to prove that why chlorophyll is essential for photosynthesis. Here you have to note a point that you have to take the variegated leaf. After taking the variegated leaf, first step is discharging. The plant is kept in dark for 3 days so that all the starch get used up. Now comes the step of intervention. Keep it in the sunlight so that the leaf can perform photosynthesis. As the variegated leaf is not of a pure green color, it has some spots of different colors which does not contain the chlorophyll. So that is why in the intervention we had not covered the leaf with the black strip. Here we had put the plant in the sunlight so that it can perform photosynthesis. Now comes the part of decolorization. The leaf is plucked, it is heated in alcohol using water bath, the leaf gets decolorized. Now as we had seen in the last activity also, we have to perform a starch test by putting the iodine solution on the leaf. After putting iodine solution, you will observe the places of the leaf in which the chlorophyll was not present, photosynthesis does not happen, and thus those places didn't turn blue-black. But the places in which the chlorophyll was present will turn blue-black, showing the positive starch test. The conclusion of this activity is, hence chlorophyll is essential for the process of photosynthesis. On the screen you can see how variegated leaves look like. Now the last activity is to prove that carbon dioxide is essential for photosynthesis. You have to do nothing, just check 2 plants and cover both of them with a glass jar. Keep potassium hydroxide. Potassium hydroxide means KOH in the first jar and seal both of the jars. The role of the KOH in this activity is that it reacts with the CO2 in the glass jar and form a precipitate known as K2CO3, and so that CO2 will be removed from the jar's environment. If CO2 is not present in the atmosphere, then the plant will not be able to perform photosynthesis. Therefore, the plant in which you have put the potassium hydroxide solution will die and the second plant will be able to survive. Till now we had learnt what is nutrition, what are the examples of nutrition, how do we obtain energy, why there is a need for the transportation of materials, difference between autotrophic and heterotrophic nutrition, process of photosynthesis, chemical equation of photosynthesis, conditions necessary for photosynthesis, and the activities to prove that why sunlight, chlorophyll and carbon dioxide are essential for photosynthesis. Now comes what are the events involved in photosynthesis. The first event involved is absorption of light energy by chlorophyll. Light energy means the light coming from the sun. Chlorophyll will absorb all the light coming from the sun falling on the leaf. The second event involves splitting of water. Process of splitting of water is also known as photolysis, and the water will get split into hydrogen and oxygen. You have to write a equation which is 2H2O is equals to 2H2 plus O2. In the second event, we are able to see the splitting of the light energy into chemical energy. The third event involves reduction of CO2 to carbohydrate. In this, the hydrogen produced by splitting of water in the second event combines with the CO2 and carbohydrates are formed, and the third event is a light independent phase. This is a very important topic, that what are the events involved in photosynthesis. After writing the 3 events in the exam, you have to draw a diagram that is visible on the screen. For your understanding, I had marked these with the different colors, but you can normally make with a pencil and pen. It is an important diagram with the events involved in the photosynthesis. After covering events, now we will study the types of heterotrophic nutrition. There are 3 types of heterotrophic nutrition. The first one is saprophytic nutrition, the second is parasitic nutrition, and the third is holozoic nutrition. saprophytic nutrition. In this, the organism derives its nutrition from the dead and decaying organic matter like root and leaves, dead animals, etc. Saprophytes release certain digestive enzymes which break down the complex organic molecules present in the dead and decaying matter and converts them into simpler substances. These are then absorbed as food. For example, fungi like rhizopus. The second example is yeast, and the third is agaricus, mushroom. These mushrooms are the poisonous mushrooms which are recommended not to eat. Now, the second type of heterotrophic nutrition is parasitic nutrition. In this, the organism derives its nutrition from the body of another living organism. The host is harmed while the parasite derives its nutrition. For example, cascata, which is also known as amoeba, ticks, lice, tapeworms, leeches, etc. Holozoic nutrition. In this, an organism takes in the complex organic food completely and then its internal digestive system breaks it down into useful absorbable particles. For example, amoeba, paramecium, and most important, humans. Now comes holozoic nutrition in amoeba. How amoeba takes in the food and digests itself, we will be learning in this topic. Ingestion, intake of the food with the help of arm-like projection called pseudopodia. The second step is digestion, breaking down of the complex food molecules into the simpler food molecule. In amoeba, food gets trapped inside the food vacuole to carry out digestion. Absorption, the digested food is absorbed for carrying out various life activities. In amoeba, digested food diffuses into the cytoplasm. Assimilation, it is the utilization of the digested food. Energy is obtained by the oxidation. And the last step is egestion, removal of the undigested waste from the body. Amoeba digests food from the body surface. Now the last topic of this video is stomatal pores. This is a very important topic, and in the NCERT a small paragraph is given on this. What are stomatal pores? Stomatal pores are the tiny pores present on the surface of the leaves. Massive amount of gaseous exchange takes place in the leaves through these pores for the purpose of photosynthesis. It is important to note here that exchange of gases occurs across the surface of the stem, roots, and leaves as well. Since large amount of water can be lost through these stomata, the plant closes these pores when it does not need carbon dioxide for photosynthesis. The opening and closing of the pore is the function of the guard cells. The guard cells swell when the water flows into them, causing the stomatal pore to open. Similarly, the pore closes if the guard cells shrink. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you are struggling for the notes, just learn the points that are displayed on the screen and you will be able to clear the exam for the nutrition topic. If you liked the video, please hit the like button and share the video, and don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel for more informative videos. Thanks a lot.